D-Mac and Squad.
How do you feel about Batman being in the DCU?
I said this. I don't know when I said this, um, but at some point in the past, I had said, and I still stand on this, is that until Pattinson's trilogy is over, I don't want Batman in DCU
Mm. Yeah,
because I genuinely think it's not having two Batmans at the same time feels wrong to me. Uh, and I think until I don't know if they're gonna end Pattinson's trilogy on two, if they're gonna do a third, I don't know. So I think if it ends on two, which I think it should, I mean not because I want it to end, but because the chances of them making three strong movies in a row is not likely. And
yeah,
that's just most cases. If the second one is better than the first one, sure, make a third one. Then I'll trust you. But until I see the outcome of the second movie, I don't know if I want a third one. Just because that's usually how it goes. There's a super strong first movie, and the second one's a little bit weaker, and the third one's terrible, and the fourth one's way worse. That's just how it goes. That's like Scream, for example.
hmm
And so I think wait for the Batman Part Two. If it does well, whoa, sorry. If it does well and they make a third one, then they need to hold off DCU wise. If
yeah,
it either goes well, but they say they're not making a third one, or it doesn't go well, they don't make a third one, then sure, at that point, go ahead and throw Batman in. But I think they can wait another year before putting in Batman.
hmm yeah. And like um, having two character, like the one character being in two separate sort of IPs, I guess. I mean, the only time we've really had that is with Quicksilver in the
Right.
2014 to 2015. So, I mean, and he was like a not a popular character. So
Yeah.
I guess people could kind of pass with that. But yeah, I see what you mean. Having two Batman.
Well, yeah, and both Batman, like I primarily Batman, like I love Batman, but I'm feeling a little Batman fatigue in terms of movies.
Hmm
Like, they pump out Batman vs Superman and the whole Snyder stuff. Like, it's just they need to focus on building. How do I say this? Introducing more characters to the scene and not just doing Batman Superman because that's all DC cares about because it's what makes them money. So I think
Yeah.
if they can, here's what I think. They showed the movie enjoyers who like, because most people, that's the thing too, and this is the strategy I think, is most people, they're more inclined to go watch a Batman or Superman movie than they are to go watch a Blue Beetle movie or a, you know,
Wonder
name a
Woman.
character that's not
Yeah.
Batman or Superman, like,
hmm
or like Aquaman did well, but like it's not the same as if you see Batman and people are like, "Oh, yeah, I see this Batman movie because Batman's the face of superheroes, right?"
Yeah.
And same with Superman. And so,
For very normie fans as well. Like
yeah,
for yeah.
regardless. And you know, I think even me who I'm a huge fan of a wide a wider catalog than just those two characters.
hmm
Batman is still my favorite. And not because he's the most popular, but because the character traits, and I think he is popular for a reason. But now it's gotten to the point where it's the only thing that people care about because he's become the face, right? So I think if James Gunn can, say, like, show the viewers that they, like, hey, we don't have to give you these Batman Superman movies, like, and that what they should do is show them that we're not going to make more of these, and you're going to have, if you want DC products, you're going to go watch this this the Blue Beetle 2. You're going to go watch a Robin movie, which will attract people. And I think, I think it's important. I think what they could do is take those characters that are semi popular, like Robin, like Nightwing, like Starfire, like, those kind of characters. Not saying we need a Starfire movie. Don't ignore me. That we don't need a Starfire movie. But
Teen Titans at least. I mean, Teen Titans.
yeah, if we're gonna, Teen Titans live action, that would be insane. But we take these medium characters that are semi popular that people will go to, not as much as the main characters, but people will go to these semi popular characters in movies. So Robin, Nightwing, like those characters, like I said. And then once they can, if James Gunn can deliver and build trust with the fan base and to the regular movie enjoyers and say, hey, we're going in a strong direction with the DCU, then at that point they can branch out to the more obscure characters, the ones who are, don't get as much attention. Mm-hmm. Name a character. It's
Plastic Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
That's kind of like what Marvel did. Like,
yeah,
we had Phase 1, and that did good, and then we had more obscure stuff like Guardians of the Galaxy, and I guess Ant-Man, and Doctor Strange later, so...
Mm-hmm.
And so, I think they do that. They slowly branch out to the more unpopular characters and build a stronger foundation. And then after that, they can be like, and then they slowly bring back in Superman and Batman and Flash and these characters who everyone knows and loves. And that will build a strong base of a actually broad universe rather than making everything about the most Justice League. I don't want another Justice League movie. I do not. I'm sorry. I'm done. I don't want to see Wonder Woman for a long time. I don't want to see Aquaman for a long time. They need to build a stronger foundation with the outside characters. That way there's more depth to it. Because that's the problem with the Snyder movies. No depth. It's just the base level, right? The Snyderverse, and like, being frank, like, I understand. So like with the Nolan, the Dark Knight trilogy, like, that's different because when it's Batman centered, you don't have to be as broad. You don't have to bring in a bunch of characters. But when James Gunn is saying we're going to establish this new DCU, I'm expecting you to deliver with a very, wide catalog, a very wide, like, I need depth. I need depth. I don't want surface level movies that only appeal to the everyday watchers.
Yeah.
No, show some love to the people who are actually endorsing these movies, the fans, and give them some variety. Because sorry, I'm going on a total yap.
No, this is you're well said. Yeah.
And like, that's the thing too, is I'm tired of the only appeal being what's going to make us the most money, which is Batman, Superman, Justice League. Going to make it the most money.
Yeah. And
honestly, that's where Marvel's doing better. They're not afraid to branch out. Sure, they could branch out more, but they're not as afraid to branch out. With Daredevil, Punisher, Doctor Strange, these characters that wouldn't normally be on the face because the average person who watches movies doesn't know who those characters are.
Yeah, and
Sorry,
go ahead. No, I interrupted you.
No, you're good. So just like, like the people who go and watch the Marvel movies, like Iron Man, Spider-Man, Hulk, everyone knows who those characters are. But then they branch out and like, well, let's throw in some Doctor Strange, some Black Panther, these characters that the average person wouldn't know about.
Yeah. And
that's healthy. And I think that's why Marvel does better, is because they are, even though their movies have gotten weaker, and I honestly believe Marvel has the right equation, the right formula, but DC has a stronger has a stronger, they're better at what they're doing.
Yeah.
I believe that when you take all of the more modern DC movies and then you go and look at the junk pile that Marvel's been putting out, I think DC does it better. Marvel has the right formula. DC has the higher quality, in my opinion. That's what I think.
I think that's a good distinction there. And like Marvel, especially during the Infinity Saga, every movie felt like an event with the MCU.
Yep.
So that helps too with like the quality of films that they made. It wasn't like stellar, but
Yeah.
it was still good. And speaking of cinematic universes, maybe the problem is you're always trying to make a cinematic universe. And
Yeah.
what's essential to that are those main characters like Batman and Superman of the Justice League, like the Avengers for the MCU. So maybe just make movies about a singular hero,
Right.
and they don't have to be connected. But that could be confusing for people that are like, are these connected? Are they not? Because they've been around that so much with the MCU and the DCEU. So maybe, they could have their own little different universes. Like you could have the Justice Society of America universe. You could have the Justice League Dark universe. You could have all these different universes.
Yeah.
And I was going to say something about the animated DC movies, but then again, those are all Batman, Superman, Justice League movies as well. They don't really branch out as much either. But you could do something to where you can make your movies like that. And like back in the day with like Green Lantern, Jonah Hex. Jonah Hex. That was a
Characters you don't hear about ever.
yeah. And that I just want to go back to those days where you could just make your own story about a certain character from comics that you want to do.
Yeah.